Wednesday, March 27th, 2019 meeting of the Acushnet Public Library Board of Trustees. We are being audio taped and videotaped. We do have a quorum. Our first item of business on the agenda are the minutes from our meeting of March 6th, 2019. Does anyone have any corrections, clarifications to add to the minutes? Okay, we need a motion and a second, please.
Motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Next item of business is the financial report, snapshot of where we are right now. Yeah.
Unless you have any questions, it's not too different from when you last saw it at the beginning of the month. We're on target. We're going into the fourth quarter next week of the fiscal year. I have no concerns about where we stand right now. So unless something is sticking out to you that you want to ask me about, like I said, it's not too different from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. We need a motion, please.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. And for business on the agenda, the circulation policy, if you'll remember, we did see a draft at our last meeting. And Dina, I know you had made some edits to it, so this should be more or less the final draft for us to review and hopefully accept as it is, so.
Yes. So I made a few of the corrections that we had spoken about at the last meeting. And then I added in sections on paying fines and on lost and damaged items. But other than that, everything remained the same.
Any questions from anyone?
I have one, and I think we've talked about this. If the child obtains a library card without a parent or guardian signature, who's responsible for anything lost or damaged?
So a child can't get a library card without a parent or legal guardian's signature on the application.
Okay, so who's that
So,
on it?
correct.
Okay.
So if whoever signs the application, when someone is approaching the desk and asking about getting a library card, that is supposed to be the first question
Okay.
that staff asks, is are you a parent or legal guardian? And if they tell us that they are, then you're taking on.
It says without the signature, 14 to 17.
Correct. Well, presumably they're giving us their phone number.
Okay.
And we'd have an address where presumably their parent or legal guardian is also living. So if it came down to
Okay.
having to get in touch with them.
I'm just remembering
For-
issues at school where the parents
Okay.
really weren't aware of what was taken home. And then all of a sudden books were missing.
Okay. That hasn't really been an issue
Okay.
here
Okay.
yet. I mean, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be an issue.
And it might
at
not, they
some
do need a
point,
right to
right.
get here, but in school that happened frequently,
Right.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of kids of that age group who are borrowing things and the parents don't have an idea of what it is that they have checked out. But ultimately, the parent is the one who's responsible, even if they're not signing for the card because it's a minor. So the parent or legal guardian is responsible for what that child has or hasn't done. The same way if a child was to do something in the library without their parent present of that age group, and we had to get in touch with a parent or legal, or, you know, 'cause they can be here at that age, without a parent. I hope that helps. I hope that doesn't become a problem. I mean, what we see for lost or damaged items or things, I mean, most of our patrons are aware what they have checked out or what their children have checked out. And we just don't seem to run into that as being an issue here at this library. I'm sure it's an issue elsewhere, but here we haven't had a big issue. And I guess if it were to become an issue, we could revisit this at some point. If that's okay. The only other thing that I wanted to add in that didn't make it onto the rules for borrowing materials, if someone is picking up a hold for a spouse, we require that they have the library card that the hold is on. But the person is not allowed to then take out material with that card while they're in the library. And we have a few people recently who have tried to do that, and it's a procedure we've always had. that yes, you can pick up the holds, but you need your own card in order to borrow material that you're just seeing here in the library this time. So I've added in under available holds will be held for no less than 1 week. I've added, with the exception of holds pickup, the card holder must be present in order to check out material. So if that's okay, I mean, that is what we do already, but it would be,
It's good to
I think,
clarify.
very helpful to have
Yeah.
that in there, especially in light of some recent things that have happened. You know, presumably whoever put the hold on knows that someone is picking up a hold, but might not know that they're checking out 10 DVDs that they didn't necessarily want checked out on their card. So that way it's just keeping everything clear on our end. Yeah, I'm sorry that didn't make it into the draft. It was after a couple of things this week. I'm like, oh, how did I miss putting that into the draft?
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, as this is a policy, we do need to vote to accept it.
Move to accept.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That would be a really big help to the staff and I.
I'm sure it will be available on the website.
It will be. And we're updating our, we hand out a welcome to your library flyer when someone gets a new card, and we're going to update it so it reflects what's in the policy a little bit, so that the language matches. But we hand that out. It's not just when they're getting a new library card. We'll hand that out, you know, anytime, you're welcome, anytime anyone asks a question that we know the answers in that flyer. So we go through those flyers pretty quickly. So we'll have it available in print in-house, and then some of it will be on the flyer and it will be on the website.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, announcements regarding library programs or services. Dina, do you have some announcements
I
for
just
us?
have one announcement today, again, because we did meet earlier this month, and I didn't provide you with the director's report for this meeting, because I'll do that in April. But my one announcement in terms of programs is on April 8th, we have a pastel painting workshop with Gregory Maychek. He has come to do some workshops in the past. He will be here again, and there is still space available for Monday, April 8th at 6 p.m. It's free, thanks in part to the Acushnet Cultural Council, who has, they've sponsored this program for a couple of years now, and we're happy they were willing to do it again this year. But if you're interested in signing up, you can do so by calling the library at 998-0270. But just a few spots left. You have to be over 18 to attend, but it's a great workshop. He's a fantastic teacher, and everything about it is free. You just have to bring a good sense of humor and willingness to try.
And if anybody attended the workshops when we had the community center here, it's the same Greg Maychek. So if you haven't done it in a while and you enjoyed it before, come back and enjoy it again.
That's right.
It's the same program.
That's right. He's doing boats this year,
Boats.
sailboats.
He's
He's done
usually-
flowers the
Yeah.
past couple of
Right.
years, but this year it's a sail away
Cool.
with pastel painting. So it's really
A lot
cool.
of fun.
Yeah, that's right. I always forget that he was here. I shouldn't forget
We
that.
had him several years through the cultural council.
It's great.
What's the time on that, Tina? Is that like 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock,
Yeah.
Monday, April 8th. And the only other thing that I think we should mention, that this is your last meeting with us, Kristen.
Yes, it is.
So, I know, I won't speak for everyone, but I know that you've done a tremendous job for the town for the past 12 years.
Amen.
And we would not be here in this room right now, I don't think, if it weren't for I know it's a team effort, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes, but you've been at the helm of that. And I think you being a part of it really did make a big difference, in what your work has made a big impact on the town and on me personally. I don't
not
know.
moving.
I know. I was gonna say, it's not like I'm never going to see you again.
Just feels that way.
It does. But thank you so much for all
Yeah.
your dedication to the
Thank you,
Acushnet
Gina.
Public Library, the Russell Memorial Library, and the town of Acushnet in general.
I
So
appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been wonderful being on the board. It's been so nice to work with all of you and the trustees who came before and with the Friends group. This is beyond what I could have imagined for the town of Acushnet. You know, everybody worked so hard to get us here, so I'm glad I was a part of that. And it will be around for a long time, and I will be here too.
yes.
In another capacity to support the library, so, but thank you for your kind words, I appreciate that. Does anyone else have any other announcements? We will be moving into executive session, but before we do that, would you like to set the next meeting for April?
So I just have 2 dates in mind, and if they're not going to work, then we can revisit on email. But I'm looking at Wednesdays, and either Wednesday, April 10th, or Wednesday, April 24th. If that works for anyone, or it doesn't.
4 o'clock?
Yes, if that's possible.
10th is better for me, but I can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
10th is better for me too.
Okay.
That's fine. Is that too close to the election?
Well, we're gonna just take our chances on that. Yeah. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds like the next meeting of the Acushnet Public Library Trustees will be Wednesday, April 10th, 4 p.m. here in the community room of the library. All right, so I have a few procedural things to go through before we adjourn from our open session to go into the executive session. So I will ask for a motion to go into executive session for Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Purpose Number 2, in order to conduct a strategy session in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, who in this case is the library director. We will be looking at her contractual agreement for the coming year. As an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining power of the public body. We will not return to a public session at the end of the executive session. We must have a roll call vote to move into executive session and to not return to open session. So we will need a motion and a second at this point, please.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, we need a roll call vote. Nancy?
Aye.
Jerry?
Aye.
Henry?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
And I say aye as well. So that passes. And before we move completely into executive session, we now need a motion and a second. That's all just to conclude the open session of this March 27th, 2019 meeting. So we need a motion to adjourn
Motion to adjourn
the open session.
the open session.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, it is 4:16 p.m., March 27th, 2019. The meeting of the Acushnet Public Library Board of Trustees is officially adjourned. Thank you.